Wife?
We're going to be doing an interviewing thing on Thursday, November 10th.
Somebody wants to talk to us and they want us to talk back.
Yeah, weird, right?
Okay, yeah, so tell me more about it.
Yeah, so we're going to be having a discussion on Twitter Spaces with OK Atheists, and they host a live discussion every week on Twitter. And we will be discussing things like who we are and why we're doing what we're doing and all kinds of stuff. So also at the end of the discussion, there will be a chance for our listeners to ask us questions. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to have a chance to talk with us.
That sounds amazing. What if you don't know how the interwebs work?
You mean like me?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, if I know you, you're going to put links to the OK Atheist Twitter account so that everyone knows where to look for the live feed link. And while we can't add it to every episode, if you're interested in joining us, check out the show notes on this week's episodes, starting with Monday's episode, 1 Chronicles, chapter 21.
Sounds great. I can't wait to see everyone there.
Yeah, me too. See you guys on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Rat-f***ing is killing your own opposition. And I take on rat-f***ing jobs so I can get compromising material on politicians that I can use at a later date. That's rat-f***ing.
He was a political fixer who did dirty tricks for money. Now, he's decided to tell all and bring his powerful clients down with him.
He's a con man, and I think he's a pretty good con man.
Some people tell you absolutely fantastical stories, and they turn out to be true.
Rat from Canada Land Podcasts. Subscribe to it now.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Let's see. The chronicler couldn't count things. David couldn't count things.
Well, the chronicler claimed David couldn't count things.
Right. And they couldn't weigh things either.
No.
There was no weighing or counting available then.
Right. But it doesn't matter because the things that they couldn't weigh and that they couldn't count were things that David was gathering to build
the fucking temple that
for the ark.
Solomon did.
Yeah.
No, not the... Oh, yeah, for the ark.
For the ark, yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
It was bullshit.
It was... Yeah. We didn't like the chronicler last chapter.
No.
It was crap.
He's a liar.
I mean... Yeah, he's been a liar pretty much the whole time, but this was like
really...
I can't even count the ways that he was
the amount that he got on my nerves is immeasurable.
Exactly. It's been weighing on me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to stop now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was 1 Chronicles chapter 22.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we're going to be reading
1 Chronicles chapter 23.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there. So it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. Oh. But, we can definitely use any amount. So, any support is always appreciated.
So what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/Sacrilegious Discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah.
Want to join the same podcast network trusted by superstars like Mark Maron, Peter Crouch, and Anna Faris? Starting or switching your podcast to Acast is easy, and we've got the best tools to create, grow, and make money from your show. Head over to acast.com to join for free.
Okay, First Chronicles chapter 23.
Okay.
But there's one sentence left of the story that we were reading from yesterday, David's preparation for the temple. Okay?
Okay.
So we start right at the end.
Oh, that was like the chapter title thing or something?
Yeah. So here's the final sentence to start off this new chapter.
Got it.
When David was an old man, he appointed his son Solomon to be king over Israel.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now we're starting a new little section.
There was a whole lot more to that story, though. I mean, I'm just saying, you remember, because there was somebody else that was going to be king, and then,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Bathsheba was involved. So we did skip over Bathsheba, completely.
Completely.
Because she was involved in that decision.
Yep.
Wow, the chronicler just, edited that shit out.
He's
was like, that doesn't really look good on David.
He's like, I'm going to just not.
Yeah, we're just going to leave that bit out.
Because we can't even.
Right.
Yeah.
You think he'd be mad to find out, millennia later that the fucking Bathsheba story still precedes his story in the Bible?
Yeah.
Like, dudes, I wrote this so you didn't have to cover that bit.
Well, too bad.
And, you're making me look like a liar. Because you are.
Because you are.
But, whatever.
Okay, so next section. Ready?
Yeah.
David summoned all the leaders of Israel together with the priests and Levites.
Okay.
All the Levites who were 30 years or older were counted, and the total came to 38,000.
Great.
I
thought we did that last time.
I thought he didn't count the Levites, though.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't. That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
he didn't count the Levites or the
priests.
The tribe of Benjamin.
Yeah. So he didn't. But now...
Right, but now he did.
Now he did.
Okay.
So now he is.
All right.
So then, and there's 38,000 of them.
Got it. Yeah, great.
Then David said, from all the Levites, 24,000 will supervise the work at the temple of the Lord. This is still David talking about the building of this thing he's not supposed to build.
Crap.
Right. Another 6,000 will serve as officials and judges. Another 4,000 will work as gatekeepers. And 4,000 will praise the Lord with the musical instruments I have made, because he is the sweet, sweet psalmist.
Right, yeah.
Then David divided the Levites into divisions named after the clans descended from the 3 sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari.
Okay.
The Gershonite family units were defined by their lines of descent from Libni and Shimei, the sons of Gershon. 3 of the descendants of Libni were Jehiel, the family leader, Zetham, and Joel. These were the leaders of the family of Libni. 3 of the descendants of Shimei were Shilemoth, Haziel, and Haran. 4 other descendants of Shimei. Oh my God. Seriously?
Well, I mean, we should have been prepared for this.
I know.
He does names a lot.
I know. 4 other descendants of Shimei were Jahath, Ziza, Jeush, and Beriah.
Okay.
Jahath was the family leader and Ziza was next. Jeush and Beriah were counted as a single family because neither had many sons.
So if you don't have enough sons, you become one single family?
You're just a half. You're just half a man.
You guys kind of suck. So we're just going to squish you guys together here.
Your penis didn't make enough sons. Your wiener is bad.
Yeah.
So you're only half a man.
Right.
Like, wow. That's
kind of insulting.
Trash, right?
Yeah.
Like, who cares how many sons?
Right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
4 of the descendants of Kohath were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uziel. The sons of Amram were Aaron and Moses. Aaron and his descendants were set apart to dedicate the most holy things, to offer sacrifices in the Lord's presence, to serve the Lord, and to pronounce blessings in his name forever. As for Moses, the man of God, His sons were included with the tribe of Levi.
Okay.
The sons
that makes sense because they were.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The sons of Moses were Gershom and Eleazar. The descendants of Gershom included Shebuel, the family leader. Eliezer had only one son, Rehabiah, the family leader. Rehabiah had numerous descendants. The descendants of Izhar included Shilemith, the family leader. The descendants of Hebron included Jeriah, the family leader, Amariah, the second, Jehaziel, the third, and Jekameam, the fourth.
Great.
The descendants of Uziel, you're just like,
It's just
yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah, when can we? Okay, so early on, I made fun of some of the names and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so much work to make fun of the names. Like I gotta be really clever and think about things.
Yeah.
And
We're
I'm just kind of like, I already did names. I don't want to do. I don't want to do the names again. I want to do. I want to do story. Damn it.
Yeah, give me story. This is boring.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
and it's also a lie.
Right.
Like I'm kind of disillusioned with the whole thing right now. I'm like,
fuck
God
the
damn you, chronicler.
Yeah. The descendants of Uziel included Micah, the family leader, and Isaiah, the second. The descendants of Merari included Mali and Mushi. The sons of Mali were Eleazar and Kish. Eleazar died with no sons, only daughters.
Fuck, not that.
His daughters married their cousins.
Why didn't he have any sons, this son of a bitch?
That son of a bitch.
Man.
His daughters married their cousins, the sons of Kish.
What was he thinking, not having sons?
Because girls have to marry their cousins. 3 of the descendants of Mushi were Mali, Eder, and Jeremoth. That's so gross. People marrying their cousins.
Yeah, well.
Ugh.
I mean, different times, I guess. But then again, I mean, what's his face? The lawyer for Trump.
Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
He married his
second cousin or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
And didn't you say you thought Jerry Lewis?
I think it was Jerry Lee Lewis. I was listening to something on NPR today, and they were doing a thing where, and don't quote me on this because I don't want to like ruin somebody if I'm wrong, but I think it was him. It was whoever wrote the song "Great Balls of Fire."
Oh.
Okay, whoever that is. They married their second cousin who was 13 years old, and it was a huge controversy apparently that kind of ended his pop career. And then he only recovered when he went to go sing country music, which totally makes sense. Cause...
That was a sick burn on country music. Damn. Like even I don't say that shit about country music. I was gonna say somebody else that married their cousin. Edgar Allan Poe married his cousin. His child bride cousin.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Something about older men marrying younger girls that are related to them.
Right.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
These were the descendants of Levi by clans, the leaders of their family groups, registered carefully by name. Each had to be 20 years old or older to qualify for service in the house of the Lord. For David said, "The Lord, the God of Israel, has given us peace, and he will always live in Jerusalem." Always.
Except for that
Forever
time when
and
they got
always.
exiled to
Babylon,
yeah.
Now the Levites will no longer need to carry the tabernacle and its furnishings from place to place.
We're still with David, though.
I know.
This is bugging the shit out of me.
I know. In accordance with David's final instructions, all the Levites 20 years old or older were registered for service. The work of the Levites was to assist the priests, the descendants of Aaron, as they served at the house of the Lord. They also took care of the courtyards and side rooms, helped perform the ceremonies of purification, and served in many other ways in the house of God.
Look, Solomon built a bunch of other shit too. He built the sea.
Mm-hmm.
He built like all kinds of crap, and like this was all part of his building all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like now they're trying to give all this credit to fucking David, and I'm like, no, I'm not having this.
I'm not having
this
it
is
either.
not okay.
I'm not even a fan of Solomon.
I'm not a fan of the Bible in general, but
Right.
I mean, like, at least keep your shit straight, you know?
Yeah. They were in charge of the sacred bread that was set out on the table, the choice flour for the grain offerings, the wafers made without yeast, the cakes cooked in olive oil, and the other mixed breads.
Do you think the wafers made without yeast is something that translated into Christianity, like Catholicism, with the, you're eating the whatever.
The body of Christ?
The body of Christ and all that crap?
Probably.
Like, it just feels like a tradition that carried through from Judaism into Catholicism.
I agree.
And, they just renamed the ceremony or whatever.
I agree.
So.
They were also responsible to check all the weights and measures, and each morning and evening they stood before the Lord to sing songs of thanks and praise Him.
Why would they need to do that? They can't even count shit or weigh shit, so who cares?
They assisted with the burnt offerings that were presented to the Lord on Sabbath days, at new moon celebrations, and at all the appointed festivals.
Wait, they're doing new moon celebrations?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're celebrating celestial beings?
Yeah.
Not God, but
they're
like
pagan.
they're that's fucking pagan.
Yeah.
It's pagan as shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never said they weren't.
I mean, I'm just saying, they do claim they are not pagan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why we have a separate, denotation for who pagans are.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, there's so many fucking pagan ceremonies in the Old Testament and in the New Testament even.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It truly is, sir. The required number of Levites served in the Lord's presence at all times, following all the procedures they had been given. Nobody ever fucked that up.
Well, I mean, I'd be scared to, given the history of what God does to people that fuck up the ceremonies. So.
True. And so, under the supervision of the priests, the Levites watched over the tabernacle and the temple and faithfully carried out their duties of service at the house of the Lord, the end.
I so hoped we were done with the tabernacle.
Hell no. Never.
All right. Well, I don't know I have much to say because I'm just kind of pissed off at the chronicler right now.
Chronicler can eat a dick.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Well, that was 1 Chronicles chapter 23.
Sure as fuck was.
And tomorrow we're going to be back with
1 Chronicles chapter 24.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep, bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
I've gotten to see so many more shows than I normally would because of how quickly and easily I can get tickets through Today Tix. Today Tix has amazing prices for some of the best theater I've ever seen. They also have a huge cyber sale coming November 18th with savings of up to 50% off. See that show you've always wanted to see or discover something new that you'll love just as much for even less. Go to todaytix.com/todaytixnyc and use promo code TodayTixNYC to get $10 off your first Today Tix purchase. That's promo code TodayTixNYC at todaytix.com/todaytixnyc for an additional $10 off your first ticket purchase.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Rat-f***ing is killing your own opposition. And I take on rat-f***ing jobs so I can get compromising material on politicians that I can use at a later date. That's rat-f***ing.
He was a political fixer who did dirty tricks for money. Now, he's decided to tell all and bring his powerful clients down with him.
He's a con man, and I think he's a pretty good con man.
Some people tell you absolutely fantastical stories, and they turn out to be true.
Rat from Canadaland Podcasts. Subscribe to it now.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.